I love how this creator is being really real about overconsumption and mindful beauty shopping because I could totally relate to this. I too overconsumed beauty products, especially during what I call the palette era between like 2015 and 2017. Many brands will purposely separate products when they could be combined. You then have to buy more, and when you buy more, that means more profits for the brand. Avoiding overconsumption doesn't mean to cut out beauty products completely. It's really about choosing versatile items so you end up with less clutter and more value.
If I had to guess some of the top words of the most recent years, honestly, femininity will be one of them, because the number of times I've heard them on social media is astounding. And I, for one, think it's time we talk about this, how social media performative femininity is keeping a lot of women poor. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I Am Patience. And on this channel, we have discussions about society's impacts on our lives and our finances, and how we can take back that power to make more intentional decisions about our lives and our finances to put ourselves on a path towards financial freedom. And today's topic aligns just with that, because social media performative femininity is really keeping a lot of women poor. It's putting them into financial destitute and financial struggle situations, trying to keep up with what social media thinks femininity means. And it's all performative. It's all about products. It's all about the way you look. It's all about the rituals that you do. So let's delve into this, and be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. I think we can all admit that in recent years, social media has played a significant part in shaping the perception of femininity and the divine feminine, often emphasizing an idealized version of womanhood that revolves around beauty, luxury, and self-care. And while the importance of self-care cannot be minimized, and hygiene for that matter, the way it is portrayed on platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and even Pinterest leads to overconsumption and financial strain.
If you want to feel the cleanest you have ever felt in your entire life, this is the exact everything shower you are going to take. Please grab a pen and paper, because I am going start to finish in detail. Before my everything shower, I like to use this rosemary oil on my hair. It makes your hair grow long, strong. Instead of giving yourself a regular scalp massage, use this. It's a million times better than your hands do. What you're gonna do when you get into the shower is shampoo. Using this for years and years and years, it is simply the best hair mask. Leave your hair so silky smooth. Girls, I get it. Conditioner is sitting in your hair. You are going to clip your hair. Do not use a hair tie. We are going to shave. Using this stuff lately instead of shaving oil, please use a men's razor. They work a million times better than women's razor. Before you shave down there, please exfoliate. Ingrown hairs, bumps, they will be gone. Best wash for down there. It's from Medicine Mama. I love this stuff. We're going to exfoliate our body. Watermelon Tree Hut scrub smells absolutely insane. Scent isn't really your thing. You can scrub. It has lychee and almond oil, so it leaves you extremely moisturized. Salt and Stone body wash, so worth the splurge. It smells like an expensive hotel. Removes odor better than soap does. I like to use this under my underarm. The last steps is to wash your back. Conditioner sit on your back can cause acne. Please wash your back. You're out of the shower and the work continues. Tie your hair up into a towel. Please use a microfiber towel. EOS body lotion, the vanilla cashmere scent, if you know you know, the Tear moisturizing toner, Glymed comfort cream. Acne, you can use this if you have dry skin. Combinations. Last but not least, a lip sleeping mask. 12 out of 10. Let me know if your everything shower is this involved. Let me know what you think. Bye.
And that's why in this video, we will be exploring the concept of performative femininity on social media, and how it is affecting women all over the world, and how it has transformed self-care into a consumer-driven practice, and the financial consequences of succumbing to these trends. We're also going to be talking about suggestions about how to navigate social media consciously and maintain a healthy approach to self-care without falling into the traps of performative femininity. And in a previous video called The Cost of Modern Beauty, we did talk about the consequences of modern beauty becoming a homogeny with the rise of plastic surgery, the cost of plastic surgery, and the reward of pretty privilege. And it's in part because of this pretty privilege and the reward that social media gives you that has triggered a lot of this performative femininity, which costs not only hundreds, but sometimes thousands of dollars per month to maintain. And not only is this damaging to the people who have to witness this every day in their real life, but then it is put all over social media, where it's almost like people are competing to be the final boss of the divine feminine, with all the shoes, clothes, products, and self-care rituals to go along with it. Because that's how you know that they are the divine feminine. So first, let's start with the perception of femininity. of the past and the present. Historically, femininity has been associated with qualities such as gentleness, nurturing, and beauty. The concept of the divine feminine, which embodies the spiritual and creative aspects of womanhood, has roots in various cultures and religions. In Asian societies, the divine feminine was often revered through goddesses who represented fertility, wisdom, and compassion. These qualities were seen as essential to balance the harmony of the world. And this is not to say that the past got it right, because when we look at societies all over the world and what women had to go through to prove femininity, we can tell that women have always had it hard. Whether it was in ancient China, where foot binding up until probably the last 100 years was stopped in mass. A lot of women had to have their foot bind starting at a very young age so that they can compete to see who has the smallest feet. And if you have the smallest feet, it was called the lotus feet, and it was essentially a ranking system of who had the smallest feet. It had to be within a certain measurement. And if it was an Olympic sport, there would be like a gold, a silver, and a bronze. And after that, you just wasted your time, I guess. And it was the epitome of femininity and women being so delicate, because most of the time they couldn't do anything without help. You go to other parts of Africa and find that women were being force-fed to become as big as possible, and it was a way of women being feminine. So the bigger you are, the bigger your bride price was going to be for your family. In other parts of Southern Africa, women were elongating their necks to show femininity, and therefore the longer the neck was, the more feminine you are. And in many parts of Europe, women were painting their face with lead to be as pale as possible, because that showed femininity. And let's even touch on when women were wearing corsets to have the teeniest, tiniest waist, because there was a proportion to be met in society, and the more you fit that standard, the more feminine you were taught to be. So history has not been kind to women when it comes to the performance of femininity. And unfortunately, in this modern world where we have deconstructed some of these systems, we still tend to fall into these traps. And the sad part is, unlike historically where a lot of the costs fell on your family, especially the men in your family, because women just did not have that much rights in society and they did not have the greatest earning potential, the men in your family bear the cost of finding the resources for them to perform femininity. But today, a lot of women, especially single women, work and then have to spend their hard-earned money to perform this femininity on social media and to the world. And as society evolved, the perception of femininity became increasingly tied to physical appearance and social roles. The 19th and 20th century, for example, emphasized women being domestic and modest as key aspects of femininity, with women expected to fulfill the roles of caretakers and homemakers. Beauty standards during these times were often rigid, focusing on ideals such as fair skin, delicate features, and conservative dresses. And of course, the biggest one, which is whiteness and the proximity to whiteness. And so a lot of white women benefited from this, because when we're talking about delicate features, we can look at a poem such as Ain't I a Woman and see that Black women, even if they perform this level of femininity, would never get close to it, because femininity at that time included being white or proximity to whiteness. So even when the Mixed America and a lot of beauty pageants started, Black women and other women of color were not allowed to enter, because part of the requirement was being fair-skinned. And this was not just an American or European thing. It's also seen a lot all over Asia, but especially East Asia, where being pale is also seen as beauty. So much so that it even dictated a caste system. In this modern era, it is believed that the definition of femininity has expanded, allowing women to express themselves in many different ways. And for the most part, this is true. However, social media has created a platform for a highly performative version of femininity, where external validations through likes, shares, and followers often dictate behavior. The divine feminine is now portrayed through the lens of aesthetics, where beauty, luxury, and indulgence are emphasized over inequality and spiritual growth. Because a lot of people, when they talk about growing their feminine, it's all about a glow up, and they're trying to oftentimes sell you something and how to grow in your femininity. So essentially, is a product. When we look at the aesthetics that is being presented as feminine, such as the it girl aesthetics, the clean girl aesthetics, even the mob wife aesthetics, whatever that means, and the coquette aesthetics, I hope I'm saying it right, you would see all these different types of femininity. So the definition has expanded to be able to accumulate all of these, including even the goth girl aesthetic. In each of those aesthetics, there's still a level of performative behavior and performative femininity, including what you have to buy and how you have to act in order for your femininity to be on par with that aesthetics. Even when it comes to the it girl aesthetics, where she's supposed to be exercising, meditating, and journaling for gratitude, that is so performative. Everyday woman who has a full-time job, and I'm not saying you can't do all of that. I, for one, have been journaling for many years, inconsistently, but I still do it. I exercise regularly. I take care of myself. I have a full-time job, so you can do it. The way it's being performed on social media is just not realistic at all. And this shift has led to a culture where femininity is often measured by one's ability to maintain a polished appearance, indulge in expensive skincare routine, and keep up with the latest trends in fashion and beauty. And while these practices are not inherently bad, if you have the money, you have the time, go ahead and do it. It has become problematic because it is pushing overconsumption and leading people to financial strain and financial destitutes in general. Because I'm glad you can buy all those products and perform femininity on social media, but how are you gonna feel when you can't pay your rent and you're gonna be on the street? Can you perform femininity on the street as well? Probably not. Let's talk about the exploitation of self-care and the concept of self-care on social media. Self-care is a vital aspect of maintaining mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. And this involves taking time to nurture yourself, whether it's through relaxation, exercise, hobbies, and personal grooming. And at its core, self-care is all about balance, ensuring that your needs are met in a healthy and sustainable way. And it is a practice that I always promote because of its emphasis on self-respect, mindfulness, and self-care, and appreciating who you are and promoting taking care of yourself and living a healthy lifestyle. And just your overall well-being as a human on this earth. But just like everything good, the commodification of self-care was inevitable because social media and companies that promote these products have turned the concept of self-care into overindulgence and an overconsumption nightmare. It is all about being a consumer-driven industry. Social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok are flooded with influencers promoting self-care products, luxury spa experiences, and other items that are marketed as essentials to achieving self-care. And the rise of self-care hashtag has turned a personal and introspective practice into a public performance, where one's worth is now tied to the ability to afford and display high-end products and services. How many times have we seen, get ready with me to go get Botox, get ready with me to go get a spa day, and she's getting all of these beauty treatments done that adds up to hundreds and thousands of dollars. And the commodification of self-care has led to overconsumption on social media and in real life, where people are essentially driven to spend more, buy more, get on the latest trends. Have you seen this product? This is what's going to change your life. It's like they're selling a lifestyle in a bottle, and people are buying it over and over again, trying to reach this epitome of femininity. It is not real. You just end up spending so much money, and the results are minimal at best because people are not truly just seeking a product that will change their life, because the lifestyle people are truly looking for is not in a product. But a lot of social media influencers make you feel like if you just had this product, if you just added this to your routine, if you just went to go get this service where I have a promo code for because I'm affiliated, linked with, then your life will change for the best. You'll be living your best life like never before. As someone who never misses a skincare routine, and as somebody who does take pride in being hygienic, taking care of herself, I will never discourage people from taking good care of themselves and from practicing self-care. But 10-step skincare routine is where I draw the line. When you are having to spend hundreds of dollars every single month to buy products, and I'm not saying buy one product and use it for everything. No, I have several products. I have a face wash, I have serums, I have moisturizers, I have and I always use sunscreen. But all of us should have the common sense to know that suffocating yourself in a bunch of products just cannot be healthy, especially on a day-to-day basis. It is just not healthy. It is okay to indulge in skincare if that's something that you love, but don't be consumed by it. And you don't have to spend hours upon hours every single night going through this routine that is supposed to change your life. The way I've seen even girls who are teenagers and even sometimes children literally going through 10-15 step skincare routine because they don't want to age, they don't want to have wrinkles at 15 years old and 9 years old. It is scary. It is absolutely scary. At that point, it is past performing femininity. That is sickening for a child to be doing all of this, worried about aging. Grow up first. You should age. You should age. We're all going to age. No matter how many products that you buy, no matter how many anti-aging products that you buy, we are all going to age as we grow older. And aging is a blessing because it's either you leave this earth early or you grow into your old age, and that is a blessing. Let's move on from skincare and talk about these aesthetics and micro trends and the impact of these micro trends and designer goods on our personal finances. Performing femininity is not just about the skincare and the hygiene Olympics, as I call it, but it's also about the way that you dress and the way you show up in the world and on social media. Social media has accelerated cycles of trends, and this has become what's known as micro trends. So for example, back in the day, there used to be like two main seasons of fashion. It was spring and fall, so new designs would come out each time, and that's why they have the fashion shows, and there was summer and winter as well, but typically it goes with the seasons. But now with social media, every few weeks there is a new trend, and that's what we call micro trends. And these come so fast and they leave so fast, and it's like out with the old, which was like a couple of weeks, and now it's a new trend. So micro trends are short-lived fashion and beauty trends that come and go with rapid pace. And this can be a particular makeup style. So remember when the minimal clean girl makeup was all the rage? I think now it's done. People are back with excess makeup. So a lot of women will sit in the mirror and they'll have to go for the no makeup look. And so it could be a beauty look. It could be a particular product. Apparently one girl wore skinny jeans and all of a sudden skinny jeans are back and people act like they have no mind of their own. So now they're saying, are skinny jeans back? Are skinny jeans back? They're back for you if you want them to be. It could also be designer products that everybody's going crazy over, and it could even be Stanleys. Remember the Stanley craze? I mean, it could still be going on now. I know it was not what it used to be in 2023 and early 2024. And this just leads to a frenzy and overconsumption. So unlike timeless fashion where you can wear for as long as you want, and it's encouraged that people wear old designs, and it is fabulous.
Did you know that the average woman in the 1950s only bought 10 new pieces of clothes per year, and each piece she kept for over 10 years? Did you know that today the average woman buys 68 new pieces of clothing per year, and on average only keeps each piece for 2 years, wearing each piece only an average of 7 times before getting rid of it? This is your friendly reminder that having more clothes, more shoes, more makeup, more trendy bullshit products will never make you more attractive or more happy.
With microtrends, they come in, they leave. People are consistently consuming. When that microtrend is over, whatever you're wearing is so last season, and whatever is in now is in. I, for one, do not participate in any of these. This outfit is close to being a decade old, and as long as I fit it, I am still going to be wearing it. I do not like to follow trends because I believe that when you exempt yourself from these trends and instead you focus on your own personal style, whatever you wear will always be in, if not for the general public, for yourself. So having some level of identity where you're not over consuming. And I think I found this dress in a thrift store when I was in high school. So this dress is well over a decade old. Why would I not keep wearing it if it fits well? And I still like the dress very much. But microtrends result in a cycle of wasteful consumption where individuals purchase items that quickly go out of style only to be replacing them with the next big thing. And this cycle not only drains financial resources, but also contributes to an environmental degradation through the fast fashion industry. And sometimes people know these outfits are not gonna last when they're buying them from fast fashion websites such as Shein and Temu. Shop like a billionaire, remember that? Like, I just hated that commercial every time it came on it. Shop like a billionaire, getting a dress for $5 and $2. You know what that's called? The race to the bottom.
What happens when fashion goes out of fashion?
Lands are filled,
Rivers are contaminated,
communities are affected
and precious environment pays the price.
across the globe.
But there is hope.
You could recycle your old clothes
Upcycle them.
or repurpose them into something useful,
Sustainability is a choice.
and you can make that choice today.
The world needs more mindful citizens like you.
And while people overconsume fast fashion and it has led to devastating environmental results, people do overconsume designer products as well. We see this all over social media, and this could be real or fake designer items, but there's people who feel like they're better than other people because they overconsume not on fast fashion, but on designer items. Because in all truth, there is an allure to designer products. So in addition to microtrends, social media has amplified the allure of designer goods as symbols of status and femininity. Luxury handbags, shoes, and clothes are frequently showcased by influencers as must-have items for the modern woman, and the pressure to own and display these items can lead to significant financial strain, particularly for those who feel compelled to keep up with the symbols of wealth and success. Most people cannot afford this. Most people cannot afford luxury handbags, and just because you have the money to buy it does not mean that money could not be doing something better for your life. Walking around with a $5,000 purse that would better serve a purpose as an emergency fund, as in my retirement fund, growing and compounding over the years. So I do not feel compelled to keep up with fake success and fake wealth on social media. And even if they are real, I still don't feel compelled to keep up with them. But for a lot of people who are easily influenced, this leads to overconsumption of designer products or even minimal consumption, but they just don't have the money. So this will lead to them getting payday loans, maxing out credit cards, buy now, pay laters, all of these bad financial practices that would lead them into a ton of debt and derail their finances because they would not have enough money to pay off their debts. They would not have enough money to save for an emergency fund, to save for retirement. And a designer bag is not a retirement plan. It doesn't matter if you have 10 of them. They are not a retirement plan. Do not allow the desire to appear affluent to overshadow practical financial goals and practices that you should be doing on a daily basis. So ensure that you are thinking about not just the moment and how you appear now, but in the long run. Will that bag still be in style 40 years from now when you're about to retire? How would you feel carrying that bag in your 50s and 60s, knowing that you could have used that money to put into a retirement account like a Roth IRA and have compounded several times over to give you well over 10 times the amount of what the bag is currently worth, if it's worth anything? And let's delve deeper into the finances because there are financial consequences of performative femininity. The culture of performative femininity on social media has serious financial implications. The pressure to constantly update one's appearance, indulge in luxury self-care, and keep up with microtrends can lead to a cycle of debt and financial instability. Credit cards are often used to fund these purchases, leading to high interest debt that is difficult to pay off. Because imagine buying a $5,000 bag on a credit card that has a 30% interest rate. So not only are you paying that $5,000, you are actually paying an additional $1,500 because you put it on that credit card. So that bag that is worth $5,000, congratulations, you spent $6,500 to purchase it. And over time, as you're accumulating these designer items and accumulating debt, it may look like you're doing good on social media and to people who see you walking around fancy clothes with fancy bags, but instead you are delaying other financial goals that you can be reaching. You're delaying getting out of debt. You're delaying getting a fully funded emergency fund. You're delaying purchasing a house. You're delaying paying off your car. You're delaying funding retirement. And over time, these will catch up with you. Because when people in their late 20s and 30s, and maybe even 40s buy their first home, you are still stuck with a ton of debt. And even if you do have the opportunity to buy your first home, you're probably still going to be living paycheck to paycheck because you're going to have so much debt to pay off. And you're going to have so many payments that you're not going to be able to enjoy your life. But also when you say yes to these performative items, you're also saying no to other investments in yourself, into your education, into your growth mentally and emotionally. There are people who could go to therapy, but they spend the money buying the latest products. There are people who could use that money to go to school, get a certification. But instead, that designer bag that does not increase your earning potential is what people will opt for. There is just a hyper focus on developing the exterior, making it look as good as possible rather than the interior, which truly matters. And this can have devastating consequences. One, because we all age, and and there's always going to be somebody who is prettier, definitely younger, and more fitting of the beauty standard according to social media and according to people who are all around. You're just not going to be the most beautiful person to everybody. But another consequence is that a lot of young ladies especially get caught up in the aesthetics of it all, in the performance of it all, and they prioritize that versus authenticity. So it gets to a point where they almost just don't know who they are as a person. It's all about the performance. It's all about this aesthetics, that they lose who they truly are. They forego developing who they truly are to developing the aesthetic. They are willing to morph into whatever the internet wants, whatever will get them the most views, and they keep pushing it, sometimes even compromising their personal and financial state to achieve more views and to achieve more shares and likes and social media validation and adoration. And over time, it just leads to losing who you are, especially when people move on, because there's a newer girl, a younger person, and just somebody who they find to be prettier than you. And you are just left grasping for the little attention that you can get in this attention economy, wondering if it was worth it and who you are, because you're just trying to do everything desperate to grasp what attention you once had. Let's add up some numbers to see how much some of these performances can cost you on a monthly basis. Skincare routine, $100. And these are not even super expensive products. These are moderate prices. If you go on social media and you're following a lot of the trending products, you're gonna spend hundreds of dollars.
Your skincare isn't working because you're using products in the wrong order. I'm a dermatologist, and let me teach you the correct order for your nighttime skincare. The first step is the most important. If you do nothing else, you want to wash your face every night with a water-based cleanser to remove SPF. But if you wear makeup, you're going to want to double cleanse with micellar water first, followed by your water-based cleanser. Next is toner, which is completely optional. You're going to follow that with your serums, and you want to layer these from thinnest to thickest. My concerns are fine lines and hyperpigmentation, so I always start with a peptide serum to stimulate collagen. Then I follow with my dark spot serum, which is a little bit thicker. Next is your retinoid, and a pea-sized amount is all you need. And follow that with a thick layer of moisturizer. And last but not least, eye cream.
Hair care, $60. And this is hair products. This does not include getting your hair done, because for me, I cannot go to the salon and walk out without spending a minimum $100. And that's why hairstyles come in at $150. So the $60 for products and $150 is for hair service. A facial is $120, and getting your nails done is $100, especially when you're getting all those acrylic nails. It's about $100 to get a manicure and a pedicure and some of those acrylic. Lashes, yes, lashes are $120. They used not to be this expensive, but because the demand is high, now it's about $120. Hygiene products and winning in the feminine hygiene Olympics, $100.
Here's my winter body care routine that keeps my skin moisturized and hydrated throughout this dry season. People often find shower routines very complicated, but this could be really simplified depending on what your skin needs. I first go in with a Dial antibacterial soap. Some people often find it drying, but the Dove Sensitive is a great alternative. As an African girly, I don't use Africanate scrubs anymore. I only use exfoliating gloves or hammam gloves. If you know, you know. For my second cleanse, I went in with a really hydrating body wash. You don't need a 5+ step body care routine. Doing 2 rounds of the bar soap is enough to cleanse your body. But it's great to exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week for a softer and even skin tone. Shower oil are great for those with super dry skin or ones still lacking moisture. But if you're using a body oil right after the shower while your skin is still damp, the shower oil might not be needed. You need a really good moisturizer to lack in all the moisture. Obviously, this is not a day-to-day routine. I only double cleanse on a daily basis, then I go in with a shower oil or a body oil if needed. Adding shea butter to your routine is great for those with really dry skin and eczema. Do not forget about your feet. It's also part of your body and it needs to be moisturized.
Makeup, $100. Have you seen the cost of foundation, concealer, and all these blushes? And a lot of times they're out of style within a few months because the newest product that's supposed to make you look like a glazed donut is out. Clothes, $200, and waxing, $150. And because I said $200, you know for sure these are not designer products. And even though I give conservatives amount, this still adds up to $1,200 per month, or a total of $14,400 in a year. Imagine what you could do with that money. You can max out your HSA, you can max out your Roth IRA, and still have enough money to contribute to your 401k. That is retirement contribution. And let's not even forget all the extras that now goes into today, getting lip injections and baby Botox that people add as a self-care routine. It is costing them well over $2,000 to maintain all of that. Now that we've talked about the problem, let's talk about how to resist the influence of performative femininity. The first thing you can do is practice mindful consumption. You don't have to not buy anything that makes you happy or makes you feel like you're improving your femininity. Ask yourself why you are doing it. Is it for yourself? Is it to keep up with trends? Is it because you think that's what every woman has? That is not true. We're not all a monolith. So even though we see this on social media, the average woman in the world definitely doesn't have access to those products or have the money to even afford those products on a consistent basis. Think quality over quantity. Think about your financial goals. Think about how it's going to help you and impact your life. And if you're truly doing it for yourself or just to be a part of what seems to be what social media is promoting. So be mindful about it. And also consider the long-term impact it's going to have in your life and whether the products align with your value system. There's some designers that I personally would never purchase from, no matter how much money that I have, because of what they have displayed in what their belief system is. As a Christian, as a woman, and as a Black person with certain values, they're never going to see my money. And another reason why they're never going to see my money is setting financial priorities. I have financial goals that I want to reach, and I'll never be purchasing a designer item if I cannot contribute to my retirement account, if I don't have a fully funded emergency fund, if I'm not living a life where it's comfortable and I have enough discretionary spending. And I definitely would never put myself into debt to purchase any designer item. And you have to set financial goals for yourself and what you believe is going to help you in the long run. How is that bag going to benefit you more than having a retirement account? How will purchasing a $3,000 designer dress benefit you more than investing that money into the stock market in your Roth IRA? Answer those questions and you will have your answer. And you might just be one of those people who need to unplug from social media. I am doing the exact same. I did not get on social media until 2020, where I was 19, almost 20 years old. I remember not even looking at my phone or going on Instagram for several days at a time, sometimes even weeks. There was nothing in me that was like, oh, let me go on social media, let me go on Instagram. Now I see myself going on there more and more, mostly because I do have a YouTube channel. I do have an Instagram page for this YouTube channel, and I'm interacting with people on there. I am posting videos and content. So I do have to go on there to promote my channel if I wanted to grow and to connect with people and have people hear the message of financial literacy. But one of my goals for 2025 was definitely to go on there less. I'm trying to see if I can only go on social media 3 days out of the week and to limit my total time on social media every single week to less than 6 hours. And I know that may seem like a lot of hours, because it is. It's definitely taking time out of my life that I could be honing in on new hobbies, working on this channel to grow it, and not to mention that I have school, so I have to focus all of my energy and strength on working my regular job and balancing school and balancing this channel. I just don't want to be riding away on Instagram, and that's my only form of social media. I'm not going on TikTok and LinkedIn to spend hours on there. So for one, I'm glad I'm only stuck on one social media account. I am working to reduce my time, and it's been getting better and better, and you should do the same, because not only will that make you less likely to be influenced, you are able to live your life outside of social media. And you look around and look at regular people, and you would realize that social media, the algorithm is feeding you what it thinks you want. So if you engage with these posts over and over again, that's all you're going to get, and you're going to be essentially an echo chamber of unrealistic femininity content that does not overwhelm the rest of us in the real world. And my last suggestion is to embrace a minimalist approach. This will be so great for you in getting quality pieces. It will be great for your environment and your mindset. I have been tracking the number of clothes I buy every year, and I definitely reduce it over time. And one way that I do is by not having a dresser. So I hang all of my clothing, and because of that, I have a limited amount of space to put clothes in. And starting 2024, I decided that instead of getting a lot of my clothes just from off the rack, whenever I go to Ghana, I will have clothes made, and those clothes are better quality and more affordable than what I get in the store, where I will compile a few designs that I want and what I think I want in my clothing. I will take the time, months and months, to put together this list, take some off, put some on. But it's a limited amount of clothes that I'm buying for this year and I bought last year. And yes, they are affordable and they're better quality, and they're gonna last me way longer than buying something off the rack in the bracket of which I buy is going to last me. I also do not shop at fast fashion. I see some clothes, I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's like, where is it from? It's like, it's from Shein. I'm like, you know what? No, thank you. Because all those clothing don't last long. The material is not sustainable. It's not even healthy for your skin. And the long-term effects on the environment is not one that I can stomach. So embrace this minimalist approach. Instead of buying 100 pieces of clothes for $500, why don't you just purchase about 10 pieces of clothes from stores that actually are environmentally safe? Or why don't you invest that into your local seamstress and have her sew you a few pieces that will last you even longer in your closet? I have clothes that were sewn for me from well over 6 years ago that still fits me beautifully, and I'll continue to wear it. Even the dress I wore in this picture, which is my birthday picture, this dress right here, I had it made by a seamstress, and in total the labor was $120, the material was $100, and that is considered steep. But had I bought this dress from a designer for a very similar look, I would have been spending even more money. When I was looking for the perfect dress, I went to Dillard's to look at similar dresses that were pink, that were gowns, and the price range was upwards of $400. But this is a dress that is made to fit me, that is beautiful and came out in the way that I wanted. And I'm sure most of us on the normal are not sewing gowns, so it's gonna be way cheaper than that. Utilize your local resources and your local seamstresses and give them your business, and they will definitely appreciate it as well. Now let's conclude this video. Social media's portrayal of performative femininity, with its emphasis on luxury, beauty, and self-care, has led to a culture of overconsumption that can have serious financial consequences. While self-care is important, it is not to be conflated with overconsumerism. By practicing mindful consumption, setting clear financial priorities, and resisting the pressure to conform to social media trends, individuals can cultivate a healthy, sustainable approach to both femininity and financial well-being. Ultimately, true empowerment does not come from the pursuit and the purchasing of material goods, but rather from the ability to make choices that aligns with your values and your long-term goals. So please make decisions that will align you towards the path of financial freedom. And with that, I'm bringing this video to an end. Thank you all so much for watching this video. And if it added value to your life, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. And please be sure to share this video to anybody who you think will be helpful towards. I always try to bring conversations on this platform that are practical and that will change us little by little to better align with our long-term financial goals. And if you have any topics that you want to recommend, leave them in the comment section, and also leave in the comment section what your thoughts about the state of performative femininity has been on social media. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.